Heyo! Today I'm doing something a little new on my channel as a part of a new sponsorship opportunity with Cosplay Sky. In today's video, I'll be doing a review of a costume that I got to pick from their site and give my honest insights on the product that I received. Now, I'm not into many mainstream fandoms, so I decided to pick out a cosplay that I thought would be versatile enough to be used for more than one character. This cosplay ended up being Yatagami Kuro's military uniform from an anime called K: Return of Kings. I've not actually watched this anime, but I tried to look up reference photos for this character, and to be honest, I can't find more than 2 reference photos of what this character looks like in his military uniform because all of the photos I could find, he's wearing a different outfit. Either way, comparing to the few pictures I found of him wearing the uniform, the cosplay looked pretty close in comparison. I'll be going over a few major points in this review. So let's get started. The packaging came in a Ziploc bag with an order form of the costume that you purchased. The one side of it is fabric backing so the costume can breathe. It's kind of a nifty setup, which would be handy to travel to with cons since the bag doesn't trap air when compressed. The quality of the fabric for the main costume actually appears to be pretty decent. It feels very much like the kind of fabric that you'd use for a costume, but a step up from what you'd get from your seasonal Halloween catalog, as it has inner lining for the overcoat. The main fabric used is a suede velvet, an interesting choice for a military suit. I feel like a fabric like this might compound a lot of heat over time and would attract fur and dust very easily. The dress shirt and pants are very light, and something about it doesn't quite feel like the fabric that you'd wear with a real dress shirt and dress pants. I don't think you could pass these up to be everyday clothes, perhaps the dress shirt, but they serve the purpose for the costume and their airiness would help a lot in hot con environments. I think it's rather nifty that the dress pants has elastics on it that fit rather tightly around your waist, rather than relying on a second belt. Trim tends to get very expensive, and they did a good job with the quality. However, the way that the trim has the end parts of it exposed, I can see it fraying over time. You can already see bits of it starting to fray at some ends. The part that I think was of great quality was the metal and the chain accents. The chains are actual metal with weight rather than light painted plastic, and the belt buckle and hat emblem are both laser-etched metal pieces. The only downfall of the belt is that it isn't adjustable, so I felt that the waist could have been slimmer. I did pick a male costume, however, so this could have been expected. The one part of the costume I felt that was very cheap was on the gloves. They are very Party City level of costume quality, as in the fabric feels very cheap and it's very see-through. It might not show up that much on camera, but in person I can see my skin color right through the gloves. The fabric itself also catches very easily on the black velvet of the suit, and so the sleeves tend to push the gloves off of my hands very easily. Perhaps picking a fabric more similar to satin would prevent it from catching. The fitting is a little iffy. It's definitely meant for someone with longer legs, and the design of the costume I think makes me appear even shorter since the front part goes down farther than my knees versus how it's shown in the photo. The waist is about right, however the shoulders I feel could have been broader. Given that this is a male's cosplay fit for male cosplayers, I would have expected a bit more room around the shoulders. I can feel if I bend too far forward or cross my arms inward too far, I could possibly rip a stitch or two in the back. The hat has its pros and cons. It fits just fine on my head. There's a single plastic card holding up the rim of the hat, which isn't enough to hold its shape and makes the hat turn out looking kinda wonky. You have to cut out some thin cardboard to put in there to keep the clean shape. The embellishments on the rim are painted plastic. However, the marker on the center front of the hat is a metal pin which you can remove and repin, which is really useful if you want to convert the hat for another cosplay. Lastly, the biggest point of this review. Is it worth it? Let's say you were buying these fabrics from Joann's. Black velvet would probably cost around $10 a yard, and you need about 4 yards for the overcoat and hat. The inner lining would probably cost $4 a yard for 4 yards. You can probably find some dress pants and a dress shirt that you can retrofit at the Salvation Army for another $10. buying a pair of white gloves would be about $6. The trim is probably the most compounding part, with about $3 for the cheapest gold trim, and all the outlines would probably come out to 5 yards of trim. The gold chains at the front would probably cost about $14 a yard, and you'd need about 2 yards to cover the amount of length that you see on this costume. So just materials alone without coupons and deals, you're probably looking at about $115 in cost. If you had no deadline and just kept waiting on deals to show up, you could probably cut it down to $60. You'd also have to factor in how good you are at sewing and how much you really want to go through the trouble of putting something like this together. With the cost of the costume only being $81, not including this 10% coupon, Sky 10, it's probably better just buying the costume pre-made and making adjustments and upgrades afterwards. Hopefully you found this review insightful and it aids you in your online shopping. If you're interested in looking for a cosplay from a popular anime, TV series, or movie, be sure to browse Cosplay Sky at their new website, newcossky.com, and use Sky10 for a 10% discount on your next purchase. Thanks for watching! Bye-bye!